Hello YouTube, this is William. I thought maybe I'd show you my small carving kit. It's just a little kit that travels around with me. My big one is a duffel bag. It's got all kinds of augers and axes and all kinds of stuff in it. But I have one that I just throw in the van whenever I go on a trip. It's just small. So I thought maybe I'd show you what that looks like and go through it. Move the camera down and we get after it. Okay, this roll is a Roaring Fire tool roll. And if you just do a Roaring Fire search, Google search, then their website should pop up. So I've got 2 or 3 of these Roaring Fire little tool rolls. Matter of fact, I've showed them on several videos. I say several, I think there's at least 2. I really like them. I think they're a phenomenal piece of kit. Very robust wax canvas. It's just a small tool roll that just works. I mean, you know, that's just, what else can I say? Here's the little Beavercraft hatchet. It's a great little carving axe. Nothing special. I mean, I've already done a video on what my thoughts on this hatchet. It's not very expensive. It's I think they're like 70 bucks. You can get them on Amazon. And it does the job. It's got a nice little wooden handle. But anyway, it gets very sharp. It's right now, I got it pretty much razor sharp. You see it, my hair is very light, but it does shave. Okay, let's start on this side. Over here is a zippered pouch, and I just have one of these little 10-foot rulers in there, because you always got to measure. And this is a excuse me, get strangled. This comes from Flex Cut. It's just a flexible sharpening grit that you sharpen your rounded tools, like this V-gouge here. And it came with a flex tool set that I got. I think this V-tool was part of that set. But anyway, it just sharpens your tools. This is a little 1/4-inch tube that you can hammer into a tree and get the sap out of it. It has a notch where you can put a bail on it and a container to catch the liquid. Going into birch trees, maple trees, things like that. And of course, Band-Aids. Gotta have Band-Aids. And this is buffing compound. That's the DMT yellow. Okay, and I'll show you what that goes with here in a moment. But that's all I have in this little zippered pouch. I have the Silky Pocket Boy in this little pocket here. Silky is a phenomenal piece of kit. This here is the Flex Cut carving jack. I think is what they call it. This is the premium one. It's all of these tools lock, and I mean I've got it stropped to a razor. And anybody that knows me knows that I do not like polished edges. Now, I've said that so many times that people is probably going to be taken back when I say this, with the exception of my wood carving tools. Now, when you have a coarse edge on tools, you can touch your fingers and it doesn't cut. So you can get away with a lot of slipping, but when you do a drawing motion on a coarser edge, it slices, and a coarser edge lasts longer. I've done tests on this to prove it. A coarse edge just lasts longer, it cuts better, so on and so forth. But on wood carving, what you're wanting when you touch the wood, you want that blade to cut. You don't want to have to do a drawing motion. So a polished edge works very well on wood carving tools, not necessarily on anything else, in my experience. It's sharp, it shaves, but we don't want to shave, we want to cut stuff, okay? So all of my wood carving tools is highly polished, and what I use is this strop right here. It has a curve, has a piece of leather that's curved around it that has this compound on it, this DMT paste right here. And it's just how I maintain my wood carving tools. I really like this little carving jack. This is basically a toolbox. It takes a lot of different tools, and it lessens the amount of tools that you have to have in your kit because it's all right here. It even has the little V gouge. But again, it has the little spoon hook blade. Has the other little gouge and another little gouge. So it's got all kinds of gouges, and all these blades lock. But this is the Flex Cut. I'm not sure which model this is, but it's the silver one. Has enough handle there to get a good grip. They have a red one, and there's a brown one with some fake wood inlay in it. And I have all of those, but this one has the most tools on it that I use the most. So there's the strop, and there's my little Flex Cut tool. And again, I rounded the leather so that it can get into those hook blades, like so. So when you do your strop, just round off an edge there, like so. You just wrap that thin piece of leather around there. Okay. This is a little gimbal. Basically, it's just a little 1/4 inch gimbal to bore a 1/4 inch hole. I've got a Flex Cut V tool. There's a straw, a plastic straw that I've heated on both ends, and it's full of, I think it's full of bar top oil. That's what that is. Yeah, it's bar top oil. Anyway, to oil the spoons or whatever I carve. Here's just a round gouge. I'm not sure what number that is. It's number 8. It says 8 right there. It's for those of us who can't remember. It's written on the blade. Okay, and I have a marker, so if I need to mark something. And then here I have a ruler, a carpenter's pencil, and a regular pencil. A couple of pieces of, I've got some piece of leather there just to protect the sandpaper so it doesn't get worn in that little pouch. And this is a spoon knife that I made several years ago. I don't even remember when I made it. This has to be at least back when I was doing the forge. So 8, 9 years ago. There. And I haven't found any that's any better. So I used to keep that in my toolkit. Now this is a knife that I have been playing around with. I watched some videos on YouTube with the Japanese wood carvers, and they use, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, Hitachi or Hitutsu, or I probably butchered it. But anyway, they use a knife that is shaped like a triangle, but it has a chisel grind on it. And so I was curious. So I made one just to see how well it did. And folks, unless you use a knife, a Japanese carving knife, you just have no idea how well these things cut and carve. This one is made out of a little small piece of Magna Cut I had at the time, and it's just like a razor blade. So if you want to shave your face, that's the tool to use right there. It's like a straight razor. But as far as carving, I mean, it depends on which way you move the knife. This is really considered a left-handed knife in Japan, but I prefer it because when I'm pulling to me on spoons and things, I want that flat side of the chisel. If you know anything about chisels, that's where it's going to take most of the wood off. If you turn it over this way, it just wants to dig into the wood. But this way you have more control over it, and you can get those real fine, thin cuts on that side. So anyway, I don't know if I'll ever come out with something like this, but as far as I'm using it, I think it's the best carving knife that I have ever used. But you can get these on Amazon. Now, quality I'm not sure of because I've never used one of them. But anyway, for wood carving tools, most of the softwoods anyway. But that's what I have in my little wood carving kit, the little small one. And I just throw it in the van whenever I get on the road and go camping, and off we go. But I hope this kind of gives you guys some ideas for your kit. I mean, I enjoy it. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy doing it. I think it's one of the most relaxing things that you can do. Just get out there and whittle on a stick. Do a tri-stick. It teaches you about your knife. It teaches you what your knife excels at and what it's not so good at. It actually helps you with your knife skills. Relaxing, because you can't think of much else while you're whittling on a stick or you get hurt. So it forces you to forget about the other problems. And but anyway, if you do take the time to get out in the backyard whittle on a stick, be sure and take a child with you, get the opportunity, and teach that child about knife safety and how to whittle on a stick. And don't forget those plenty of mayonnaise and lots of knives. We'll catch you again very soon.